All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back to the channel. So yesterday, Conor McGregor released a text message thread between him and Dana White, and you got to see an insight into a lot of things. And I didn't see anyone report on the most important part of that, as a matter of fact, right? Everybody's talking about how he wanted to fight Diego Sanchez. They're talking about, I don't know. They're talking about the Manny Pacquiao thing. We'll talk about that. But everybody missed the biggest part of that entire thread, right? As usual. Jeez. Anyway, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. All right, here's the deal. So clearly that conversation was from much earlier in the year, right? Because he's saying that his first card is in July. When I first read that, I was like, is he talking about July 2021? And then I was like, wait a minute. No, he's not booked out to July 2021, obviously. So clearly this was earlier in 2020 when Conor was trying to lobby for a fight. Okay, Conor asked for Diego Sanchez. I want to start there, actually. That is weird, man. That is weird. Why would he ask for Diego Sanchez? Was anybody else reading that just like, Conor, what? I give Conor tremendous benefit of the doubt. Tremendous credit in terms of his ability to have his finger on the pulse and know what's what, know who to call out, whatever. When I read that, I was like, what? Is Conor, was he up all night the night before? I mean, I know I'm not trying to default to that, but that is not, the Conor McGregor I know would know that Diego Sanchez is not a viable option for him to fight, right? I mean, Dana literally was like, they should fold, they should take away our license if we make that fight. And that's actually interesting too, right? Think about that from Dana's perspective. It's like he has a big pool of UFC fighters, and as far as Dana's concerned, there are certain fighters that you can't have fight other fighters because the caliber of fighters the gap is too big. Conor is dead center of his prime, and I realize that some people might push back on that. I think the Cowboy fight made that pretty perfectly clear, right? Nico Price is no sucker, right? Tony Ferguson is obviously not a sucker. Gaethje, not a sucker. Anthony Pettis, not a sucker. Right? These guys that Cowboy lost to are the best in the UFC, and Conor walked through him like he wasn't there. That was Conor's last fight. That was less than a year ago, right? So Conor is the absolute cream of the crop in the UFC when he is focused and training, etc. Diego Sanchez is not that. I mean, that was so weird. The only thing I can think of, honestly, as I'm talking this through, as we've discussed many times on this channel, sometimes I do my best thinking while I'm talking. I think that might have been kind of in line when he was talking about fighting Frankie Edgar too, where that was like, what, Frankie Edgar? And he's just trying to get opponents that look like Khabib, right? Like guys, he wants some live practice with guys that look like Khabib. Now, is Diego as good as Khabib? No, but Diego's going to try to take him down, right? Diego, from a skills standpoint of what he's good at and what he's not as good at, mirrors Khabib, kind of. I mean, I would say Khabib's probably better on his feet now than Diego, but he's certainly going to try to take him down. So maybe it was that. I don't know. Maybe it was that. Because Conor was talking about that Frankie Edgar thing too, but that was before he fought Cowboy, and I remember being like, Frankie Edgar? What is going on? What is he doing? Now, maybe he's just smart enough to know that he's going to make $30 million every time he fights anyway. So why not do the Floyd Mayweather thing where you fight guys that have no chance against you? Honestly, that might be what it is. That might be exactly what it is. He saw what worked for Floyd. Floyd never fought a comer that had any chance against him. Not really. He fought De La Hoya when De La Hoya was still very solid in 2005. And then from there, as he got more popular and became the A side, he never fought anybody that was in their prime, really. Not anybody where it was like, oh my God, is he going to win this fight? Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? I mean, do you remember a fight where it was like, geez, is Floyd Mayweather going to be able to win this fight? And guess what? He made between 30 and whatever, $150 million every single time he fought, up until when he fought Pacquiao and made whatever he made. But, so maybe Conor's looking at it and he's like, look, this is money. This is just a business to me. Outside of the Khabib fight, this is just business. Right? I mean, it's possible that's what it is. It's very, very possible that's what it is. But if it's not that, then that's the only thing that even makes sense. The only two things that make sense are tune-up fights for Khabib or or it's just money. He's going to make $30 million anyway. He made $30 million on the Cowboy fight. $30 million on the Cowboy fight. Okay? A handpicked fighter that everyone who knows the sport knew he was going to walk through. Right? That fight was the ultimate dividing line of casual versus people who actually know the sport. Right? I was on a chat thread, and Cowboy was like a plus 275 underdog, and people were like, "Ooh, I'm liking those odds, huh?" Yeah, I'm liking those odds. Last time I saw Conor fight, he lost, huh? He lost, and then when he fought Mayweather, he lost that too. So, geez, I mean, Conor's lost his last 2 fights. How is he a 3-1 favorite? I'm gonna go Cowboy, and everybody who knows anything about the sport was like, "Yeah, Conor's going to cut through this guy like butter in the first round." I bet on Conor to win by knockout in the first round. I mean, if they would have been an option to win by knockout in the first 2 minutes, I probably would have taken that, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I mean, anyway, he made $30 million for that fight, though. I mean, he'll make more for a Khabib fight or a Gaethje fight, but probably not that much more, not that much more. But anyway, whatever. Here's the big thing, okay? Here's the thing that everybody missed. The biggest thing that everyone missed in that entire exchange. Simple. Conor said straight up, he can't fight. He can't fight until the crowds come back. Remember I did the video where I said, maybe Conor's waiting for the crowds? Like maybe the juice it's not about the juice for him. It's not about the money anymore. So like maybe he wants to fight for crowds. Maybe he's waiting for the crowds. Okay. So I was halfway there. Maybe that's true. Sounds like not, but sounds like he has to wait for the crowd. You understand? No other fighters make $30 million. Like no one. No matter how many pay-per-views you sell, you're not making $30 million unless you're Conor. Okay. So what that means is Conor has a very, very specific, very select deal, which, in case you guys missed it, Dana makes $20 million at the gate every time that Conor fights. Okay. So Dana is probably like, look, dude, without the gate, we're not paying you what we owe you. So, what do you want us to do, man? We can't fight you without the gate unless you want to renegotiate your deal. And Conor's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to renegotiate my deal. I've got the best deal ever. So he can't fight. He can't fight until the crowds come back. So, that must have been that, like, if he's saying the first date he has is in July, that has to have been right when things unlocked, like right around when things unlocked. So that had to be like right after Gaethje beat Ferguson. That has to be it, because he said Gaethje. He was talking about Gaethje too. Think about that, dude. Gaethje had just won, and Conor was talking about Diego. Like, what? Maybe, again, I don't know. Maybe he just knew that Khabib was fighting Gaethje. Like, it was just like, actually, you know what? That's probably exactly what that was. But still, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you think about it, there's not really a whole lot of options for him out there. But I'm surprised I wasn't looking at Masvidal's name. I'm surprised I wasn't looking at, Nate Diaz's name. I don't know. Like that, Diego Sanchez. What on earth? It's so bizarre, man. But at least we know Conor wants to fight. Now we're talking about a Manny Pacquiao boxing match in Abu Dhabi or whatever. Cool. I will watch that. I don't care. I don't care what Conor does. I will watch him fight. If he's fighting, I'll watch. He'll make a lot of dough too. And that fight will sell some fucking pay-per-views. So, listen. Beggars can't be choosers at this point, okay? If Conor wants to fight in boxing, I'm going to watch that, okay? I'm going to be very excited to watch that, as a matter of fact. And I'm going to be very excited to watch whatever weird press conference they put together in this bizarre 2020 nightmare that we're in, right? Like the Saturday Night Live version with no crowd, where you're Conor, and you're waiting for the crowd to scream, and you're like, oh, that's right, there's no fucking crowd here. There's no fucking crowd here, so this sucks. But yeah, Conor, you're still funny. Listen, there's no crowd here, right? No crowd here. Still watching this. Anyway, I don't know. But just book him. Just book him a fight, man. If you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. Let's go. Izzy Adesanya tonight. And Paulo Costa. Undefeated. And I challenge you guys to watch a Paulo Costa greatest knockouts and not marvel at the titanic power this guy has. He's a murder machine, man. He is a murder machine. He throws... He at middleweight, he's a guy that I would not want to get punched in the body by. That for 100% sure. Even over Yoel Romero. If I have to take a body shot from somebody at 185, Costa's last on the list. He is the last guy that I'm going to let hit me in the body. Straight up. I mean, by the time we got to Costa, if I'm getting hit by guys in the middleweight division, I'm in the hospital probably by, shot number 2. But anyway, yeah. So if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. Peace.